Alrighty. So this week's vlog is about building out your pantry, your prepper pantry, your deep pantry, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's yours. And like I said, the easiest way to go about doing it is to start by copy canning. So we're going to pretend that this is a bottle of, I don't know, something. And I have one of these on my list to buy for the week. I'm going to buy two. This one will go upstairs in my cabinet, in the fridge, wherever it belongs. The other one will go in the basement. If they've got a good deal, I might buy four. Because guess what? That's three more than what I actually need. And buying those two, buying the three, buying the four, it's slowly going to increase what you have. Now, when we do this, it's not just the food. It's not just about food. Your pantry needs to be more than food. And as a woman, I look to see, what do I need to make sure that I feel safe and secure if my husband were to lose his job, if anything were to happen, if the food prices suddenly skyrocket and we can't afford to buy any food, if our cars break down, we can't get it. We have a grocery store across the street, but if we couldn't get it to the store across the street even, so we have food. We have cleaning supplies. And I actually found some holes in our cleaning supplies when I was down in the basement yesterday looking at it. And I was like, we need some more Windex. We need a couple more things, a toilet bowl cleaner. There was something else that I came up. Oh, laundry detergent. I've got two things of laundry detergent, but I'd rather have three because why not? I've got it. I have to do laundry. With Bug, I actually bought a big gallon-sized bottle of Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, so I've got that ready to go because I'll use that for baths and laundry. But those are additional preps. We have probably a good 4 months worth of toilet paper in the basement. So our next trip, I'm gonna just pick up another thing of toilet paper, just to have it. We just got more paper towels this weekend because we're almost empty with the one that we had opened. So we're gonna be opening that new one, or that next one soon. So buy the new one, and it's at the back of my top shelf. So food, paper products. If you are a paper napkin person, paper plate person, silver, like the plasticware, have that. Have it in your basement storage or wherever you're storing it, under the bed, in the closets. You got to get creative. That's the other thing too. Our deep freeze is actually sitting right next to me here in the kitchen. Part of that is because I was about 5 months pregnant when it arrived, and I looked at it and I said, I don't want to help carry this down the basement stairs. And we just gotten snow, and it came into our front door. And we looked at the doorway going to the gangway down to the basement and said, there's no way in hell we're getting this through the gangway to those stairs to get down. And we're not going to go around outside in the snow to bring it in the back door, which has a straight access. So it's here. Is it a bit of an eyesore? Actually not. I have found that it's a great spot to fold my laundry because it's the perfect height. One more minute, kiddo. And if we were to have a lot of people over, I can use that as a buffet. But you know what the best part is? We got this nice, I think it's 7.2, a little over 7 cubic feet. It's full. Now, this filling up did not happen overnight. It took a good 2 to 3 months to do. And it was done slowly. When I'm done, you stay in there. And it was done slowly. We go to the grocery store. We picked up the 5 pounds of meat. We found steaks on sale at Aldi's, so we would get a pack of 4. Heck, they had a deal with their bratwurst and their breakfast sausage links and Italian sausage at one point. It was just over $1 for a pack. So it was like 10. Got 10 of each. Got them in my freezer. So I've got plenty of breakfast sausage, and I actually just got ground pork. So I used some really cool spice seasonings, a spice mix last week to make my what did I make? Biscuits and gravy. It's really, really good. So I'm starting to learn how to take just the basic ground meat and add the seasoning to it to get what I want. I have some spice. I have a spicy Italian seasoning that I'm going to use to make Italian sausage in the future too. So that's going to be fun. But that's one of my secrets for my storage. And the stuff in there, if we lose power, it will stay colder for longer than what I have in my refrigerator freezer. After those 2 things comes your medical. And you could do medical second, it doesn't matter. Medical, once a month we go to the store, I'll walk through the pharmacy section and just kind of see what they got and say, oh, well, this is on sale. I'll grab some acetaminophen. I'm going to pick up some more Zyrtec. Let's grab Band-Aids, Neosporin, ice packs. I've got hot water bottles because hot water bottles are actually really comforting and warm. If you've never used one, highly recommend it. And again, if the power goes out, I can boil water. So I can heat that water up, fill my hot water bottle, and I can either use that to warm my body up, or I can put them in the beds to keep the beds warm before bedtime. I mean, there's nothing better than going into nice warm sheets at night. Oh, I love it. But in addition to that, I have like all of my vitamins. I've been doing those on the Amazon Subscribe and Save for years now. So I have not as much as I would like, but I've got a good 3 months of all of our different vitamins that we take. So for some reason we lose money because my husband loses his job for a month. I have the vitamins that I need and that he needs and that we'll need for little man or bug. We have splints. We have various braces because carpal tunnel. I'm a bad ankle sprainer, so I've got multiple ways to wrap ankles, wrists, shoulders. I've got slings. I don't have crutches right now. Those are at my parents' house, but it's something we could pick up. But you see where I'm going with this? We don't just focus on the food. The other thing is clothing. It gets really, really cold up here in the winter, and apparently it can get really, really hot too in the summer, which I did not realize until the last couple of weeks when we got up to about 100, and that was just gross. Have the clothing that you need too. And if you live in one of these places like up here in the Northwoods where you get really, really cold winters and really, really hot summers, have a bin in the basement with the winter stuff in the summer. And then you just flip-flop it come wintertime. A lot of my clothes I have, so I'm a big fan of camisoles, tank tops in the winter. I'll wear these every day under a flannel, and sometimes that flannel will be under a sweatshirt or a nice heavy knit sweater because it's cold. But make sure that you have the clothing that you need and that you need for your kids too. I am guilty of not having bigger size clothes for little man right now, but I have from newborn to size 6 of clothes for Bug, praying and fingers crossing that Bug is a boy. No. If not, I will be selling these clothes or finding somebody that I can be like, hey, let's trade. I'll take your girl stuff and you can have the boy stuff. But we make sure that we have that because, again, that's a peace of mind. That's safety. I have a nice, it's not that big. It's probably 20 inches long. It's a duffel bag. And I have packing cubes. By the way, if you don't have packing cubes, invest in packing cubes. They're the best thing ever. I have a cube for me, a cube for little man, and a cube for Squatch. I have 3 days worth of undies and socks and clothes. So a pair of pants. I have a pair of pants and a skirt in there for me. 2 to 3 tops. There's a sweater for all of us and for each of us in there. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to make a first aid kit. I actually need to update our trauma kit. I need to duplicate that. So we're going to make 2 more trauma kits. One for the emergency bag, the bug out bag, I guess you could call it, but it's more of our emergency bag for a tornado or whatever. We're going to have it in there, and then we're also going to have another trauma kit in the other vehicle. So right now the trauma kit goes into whatever vehicle we're using. I'd rather have one dedicated trauma kit for each vehicle. I actually may end up making 3. So I have a trauma kit here in the house, one in my vehicle, one in Squatch's vehicle, and one in our go bag. There's also going to be just a plain old first aid kit in there because you need your first aid supplies. And again, people, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with building out your prepper pantry? This is stored downstairs with our pantry stuff. Because I have a tote down there too that it has a list on it of the few things that I would need to just toss into it to take if we need to get out of here. If something happens and I need to get out of this house and I have 5 minutes, I'm going down, getting the bag. I have a backpack in there. That backpack will come out and I'll just throw some of our prepared foods and stuff in there. And then I'm out. If I have 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, or whatever, I have a tote that I can actually organize much better. And I've got lists on there. So if I have this much time, this is what I'm putting in here. If I have this much time, these are the items. Again, keeping it's in the pantry, it's not filled. Because I want to make sure that what I have in the pantry is getting used. And if I were to fill this tote right now, that stuff would not be in my rotation. And I want to make sure that I have the rotation continually going. Because that's the biggest thing. Whatever you have, you need to make sure that you're using. Because if you just buy all the stuff and you put it in your pantry and it sits there, and you buy more stuff and you put it in the pantry and it sits there, you're hoarding. You're not actually using what you have. And again, I've talked about Jack's copy candy, which is how we got our pantry filled. I've talked about Nicole, store what you eat what you store. That's what we do. And I know I said in the blog, we have a lot of extra carbs and stuff right now, but that's because when we started this, we weren't very carb heavy. I was still more meat focused, but we had a lot of the carbs to be for fillers and sides. Now I look at those and I said, well, those are my bargaining chips. You know, if we need to lock down and to stay at home, we can't leave the house, and the next door neighbors come over, they're looking for something, I'll be like, okay, well, what do you guys have? We're looking for this. That's my new currency. And somebody came up on one of the live streams at some point about a really great name for this currency, and I can't remember what it was, but that's our new currency. So it's not just about the food. Getting your pantry is not just about the food. It's about the financial stability that you're going to have because you don't have to go out to the store. We don't have to go grocery shopping for a month. You know how exciting that is? We've been in this house since September, June, July, August. We've been in this house for 9 months. And I'm sitting here like, I can finally go a month without going to the grocery store. I take that back. We'll have to go to the Mennonite shop down the street for our eggs. But that's still not a big deal because that's less than $10 a week on eggs that we're going to be buying. And if we want to pick up some other treats while we're there, we can do that because it's 3 miles away. So we're not even traveling very far. And with gas prices the way that they are, they keep on going up, 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 up. Yeah, I'm definitely sticking to my Amish store instead of driving the 10-ish or so miles. Yeah, it's about 7 to 10 miles, somewhere in there, to get to Walmart or Aldi's. Because, yeah, it is expensive as a place across the street is. I'll walk over there and pick up the groceries that I need. Just because whatever I'm paying the higher price, it's going to be offset by the amount of gas we're not using. So, the whole prepper pantry idea, it's really easy. There's so much that you can do really quickly to stock it up. You're not going to want to... Don't buy the name brands. We're just going to put it that way. I will admit I am a Skippy snob when it comes to peanut butter. But there have been times I've gone to the store and I need peanut butter. They don't have peanut butter. They don't have the Skippy. I'm not a big fan of Jif. I've never been a fan of Jif. So instead of the Skippy, I just buy whatever the Walmart brand is. But that's more than half of my stock of peanut butter right now. You know, you can buy the discount brand. You can buy the regular Aldi brand, the Walmart brand. If you're in Chicago, the Jewel, whatever your local generic brand is, go ahead and buy that stuff. Because you know what? It's the exact same as what you're paid. You're just paying more money for the name. So look at check the prices out. Don't go for the most expensive thing. Don't go buying buckets and buckets and buckets of those pre-made meals and everything. So you're actually going to eat them? You can buy crates of MREs, but are you actually going to eat that food? I mean, if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat whatever I have. If it comes down to starving to death and eating all the carbs that are in my basement, I'm going to eat those carbs. I also have tinned, like some tins of meat, which that's our next project, is to get some more tins of meat. We got Spam, I actually found some pulled pork, which I was like, oh, that's interesting, we'll try it. Stew. I don't have any tuna, because I'm not a big tuna fan, but I think I'm going to make myself try to eat tuna again, so I can pick up some tuna for it. We got canned chicken. You know, because if shit hits a fan and I have no power, I'm eating what's in my freezer. And I've got a good 2 to 3 months worth of food right in there. So that's all going to get cooked up and eaten if I like right away. And then I'll go down to the canned stuff in the basement. But do what you can with what you have. And I'm no expert when it comes to stocking up for an apartment or a teeny tiny home or anything like that. But I know there are people that are out there. So if that's you, if you're living with somebody else, hell, I had a trunk in the back of my old Escape. And I had food in there. I had that when I was at my in-laws, when we were living with the in-laws, and when little man and I were living with my parents. None of them knew that we had that food. I had food and I had some toilet paper, paper towels, some first aid stuff. Just because I knew that they weren't prepared enough. But I needed to take care of myself and little man. And when we were living with the in-laws, Squatch too. So you can do it. You can find a way to do it. If you need to put boxes under your bed and you can slide the stuff in and out, that's what you got to do. So this went a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I do apologize for such a long video. But it's an important topic. And I really hope that this helps you out. Because I know over the last 8 or 9 years, since I've gotten more into the prepping / homesteading world, it hasn't come easy. And I've had to fight to get to where we are right now. But every little win, I'll take it. And I hope you do too.